Project. And also dedicated today to Gloria Smith, the Executive Director of the Black Star Project. Happy to have you here with us today, all you folks at Crocs, all you folks at the Atlas Center, and other folks who are turning in today for this marvelous program. I'm going to be introducing a wonderful person in a moment. And she's bashful as heck, but she's going to be fine because she knows her stuff. And I'm going to introduce her in a minute. But I also get these quick shout-outs as I do. First of all, to Rocio. I'm used to saying Imani and Payne and Rocio Santos, but we have Rocio doing everything today. So I'm so happy that we got the producers that we have, and they'll be our producers today. Also, shout out to Lisa Dawn Taylor, the editor of the South Shore Current magazine and one of the sponsors, to our executive producer, my so-called executive producer, and that's Othel Owen, the Director of Constituency Services for 1st Congressional District Congressman Jonathan Jackson, one of the folks that are encouraging and supporters of us. I should also mention someone, the community leader, is Sharon Sy Lewis with the Meadows East program on 79th Street in the South Shore area. So welcome here today. Let me see, first of all, how many octogenarians do we have here today? Raise your hand. How many do you count? Oh, we've got a few. We've got, I think, 3 centenarians today. This is what we're about. We're about elders. We have a number of septuagenarians here that are watching the show. And I should mention somebody's out in the other room, the green room, that I'm going to mention in a minute too. But we've got a great audience and this is dedicated, these series in this season is dedicated to seniors. And I say seniors, and I say elders, not elderly, because seniors like us, right?
Right.
Elders like us have something to offer, something substantive to offer, and you're going to meet my special guest here today. And my special guest today is going to be Sabrina Scott. And back giving her moral support in the green room is her colleague, Linda Jan, thank you for getting me straight. and Linda Taffy, right? Linda Jan.
Okay,
I don't say Linda Jam. Okay, Linda's in the green room supporting Sabrina here tonight. They are colleagues and founders, if I can use that word, for what's the program called? It's called the Community Arts Program for Seniors.
That's correct.
Did I get that right for a change?
Yes, you got it correct.
They have such an exciting history. They are former CPS teachers, counselors, who came together for a mission. And tell me about the mission for Community Arts Program for Seniors.
Well, our mission is to bring the arts out to seniors and bring it out to their doorstep. Where they feel safe.
So they don't have to go out. Tell me about this. That you bringing the mountain to Mohammed, huh?
No, they don't have to come out. We think it's important. We see our seniors as a real vital asset to our community.
Okay.
And initially, Linda and I were hosting a pre-Kwanzaa. And you know, Kwanzaa is all about the family.
Yes.
And that component, trying to get the seniors out, proved to be challenging. And so...
What was the challenge? What part of it was the challenging part?
Well, the challenge was to get seniors to come out. First of all, Kwanzaa is typically held in December,
right,
when it begins to get cold, the weather begins to get bad. And so that can be challenging. Seniors may not want to come out because they're afraid of falling, their safety, and they might not might not even be interested in participating in some programs.
Okay.
So they rather stay in. It's safer to stay in for them.
Is this part of what you are looking at and seeing is there's a certain isolationism that seniors have and deal with, whether they're in a senior facility or assisted living or maybe just in a home by
That's
themselves.
correct.
How
That
are
is
you
correct.
addressing this? This is one of the things you came up with to address the isolationism.
We came up with taking the arts to their doorsteps, to their safe spaces, and in hopes of doing that, when we go into a senior residence, what we're looking for is to get the seniors to come out of their units, to come down to the community room, to participate and engage with other seniors there. And so by bringing the arts out, it's been shown that the arts helps to build self-confidence in anyone.
So when you get them out, what do they do? Now, this is going to be a chance to give a little commercial about how to get involved, how to assist, and I should tell you this, that Sabrina and Linda fund this organization out of your pocketbooks, right?
That is correct.
So,
we are funding
like
it
you
out
did
of our pockets.
when you were
right
an educator,
now.
you paid for school supplies. And
Absolutely.
The board, and you're doing this because you have this very special mission.
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct.
And what are some of the things that when you bring the seniors down, because you have to recruit artists, I take it. Tell me something about that, and what are some of the artists that you've brought into the senior facilities to engage your seniors?
Well, we began in December with a paint and sip. And so typically
Sipping a little coffee, tea, a little wine, or what?
not wine, but we do try to make it a little interesting and exciting.
They're not too young.
So not wine, but typically when we began with the paint and sip. That was the first art projects that we took out for the seniors, and typically we take in the artists, we take in the refreshments, and we purchase the materials. We took in a little bubbly grape juice because we don't want to have anybody
slip or fall or anything else, right?
not only that, have interactions with their medication.
Okay.
So no, we're not looking for that type of excitement.
Okay.
But yeah,
So
we
Benny's
started
won't
with
be
the
one of
paint
your
and sip.
commercials? You're not looking for Benny's Liquors to be a sponsor?
We would love to have Benny's as a sponsor. We won't refuse any good sponsorships. Absolutely not. Because this is a program we're hoping not only to extend for the rest of the year, but we are hoping that we can bring visual arts, performing arts,
Too.
literary types of writing,
Book clubs, for instance? You can say...
possibly book clubs.
Okay.
And this is something we want to run for the entire year. But not only the entire year, we are hoping to at least go 5 years out with this program, if not beyond.
Let me do this. I told you this is not a time to be a commercial, but want you to give out information. If there's people who want to volunteer, who want to support you in some way, how would they do that? Where would they call, or email, or website, or what? Tell our viewers about that.
Our program falls...
Hold on one second. Folks, get your pencils and papers out. She's going to give you some valuable information, and I want you to write this down. Okay, go ahead.
Our program falls underneath the umbrella of Africa International House.
Is that Patrick?
That is Patrick Woodtide. Yes, that is correct. And you can go to our website, which is AIHUSA.org.
USA.
You can also find us on Facebook and social media.
Tell them again. Where do you know just on Facebook?
Right, on Facebook, you look up Africa International House, USA, Inc.
Okay.
And you can find us on Facebook and Instagram.
Yes. So what are some of the things that you started to tell me earlier when we were in the green room about some of the things that they're doing? I think you mentioned crocheting, and I hear that you're crocheting a blanket or no, I'm just kidding you. Now, I know you didn't crochet one of those, not blankets, what are they called? The quilts, like G's Bins.
We will have quilters going out to some of the facilities later on in the year, this month.
So you're identifying folks now?
We are identifying people now. We actually have 10 facilities that we service.
Tell us where some of the facilities are.
Some of the facilities are on the southeast side and the southwest side of the city. We have a new facility, a Zion Hill Church, which is on the west side of the city. So in December, we began with 5 facilities.
And
we have now grown to 10.
So your enthusiasm, you and Linda, your enthusiasm is wearing off with some people, and you're getting a little recognition now?
A little recognition, not much, but I think our enthusiasm is really
contagious.
Yes. Okay. And when somebody hears about the program, they'll say, "Oh, we need something for our seniors to do," and they'll reach out to myself or Linda, and if they happen to catch Linda, Linda will say, "I couldn't tell them no."
Yes.
I just can't tell them no.
That's what educators and people who have a mission with the Black community, and for seniors especially, has been our emphasis over this past 2 months, is having our seniors recognize that they got muscles in many ways. The intellectual, and they're our elders, but also some of our guests who have been on remind our seniors that they have muscles that they have to use their leverage, experience, and wisdom in this coming election in 2024, or in the coming elections on the 18th of the month here in Chicago.
Absolutely.
Is that some of the things that you do at this point in getting them get them to be aware of their power?
We don't necessarily get them to be aware of their power, but we do get them to be aware that they are still capable, that they are still viable members of our community.
And something to offer?
Absolutely something to offer. If you don't mind, I'd like to read a quote that Linda and I have kind of taken to heart.
Write this down too, because it can give you some heart too. Those of you at Crocs and the Atlas Center, keeping notes, because she's got something important to tell us.
This is a quote that Linda and I selected to go on our brochure. We believe in this, and I feel that it's a very strong, truthful quote.
Tell them, yeah.
The quote is, "A society that does not value its older people denies its roots and endangers its future." This quote is by Nelson Mandela.
Can't get a better quote than that.
And as far as seniors, all of us are who we are because of the seniors before us, that came before us. Our children will be who they are because of us.
They stood on our shoulders.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And so seniors, we have to remember how very important they are to our communities in our neighborhood.
And they have to be aware of their importance. They have to understand that they still have something to offer and must be respected for their wisdom and things that their life is not over, is it?
Absolutely not.
You retired and your life wasn't open after you retired. For how many years were you with the board?
I was with the board for 26 years. Before that, I was in the Lutheran school system about 10 years.
So you've been an educator for a good part of your life.
Absolutely.
You were telling me at one point that when you were getting into the performing arts, you had a stepper set for seniors or something like that, and
we have had a stepper set at the pre-Kwanzaa, and also line dancing. Now, since starting this program, we have taken line dancing out to some of the.
You've taken it out. Are you one of the instructors? Or?
No, I'm not one of the instructors. We take the instructors out to the senior facilities just like we do the artists.
And they play Love Gonna Last. You know,
oh yes, they do line dancing and they do stepping. And we were at a facility last Friday, and a lady sat there for most of the time. She had a walker, which she used, and she sat there for most of the time. Yes, a rollator on wheels.
That's what they call a rollator.
A walker on with wheels.
Okay.
And they put her song on. And when they put her song on...
Was it her song or her jam?
It had to be her jam. Because at that point, she got up. She started dancing with her walker. and twirling the walker around. And then Linda and I looked up. She had let go of the walker, and we were kind of, a little fearful and worried. Okay, she's, up moving without her walker. We don't want her to fall. Then one of the other participants.
Was this a male gentleman that came up to get out on the floor with her?
No, it was actually another lady, but she came up, and they bopped together.
Oh,
they bopped together.
Folks, they're from that era. I'm from that era. I bop and I step. So anyway, go ahead.
So but it was just good to see.
Uh-huh.
It was just good to see that it brought her out of a shell.
Okay.
She moved from being participatory to participating.
Yes. So,
And it gave her, and then the confidence that even to do it.
the little finger popping, shaking the tail feather and all that the seniors thought they forgot to do, but still can do, right?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
What are some of the things that you're looking at doing, that you want to do, that you need some volunteers for, or need somebody with some special expertise that would be useful in your program?
One of the things, Linda and I, we are always coming up with new ideas or trying to add things. We are looking to make connections. Mm-hmm. We're looking to get resources, just resources for when we go in to see the seniors. Yes, and we do need volunteers.
Volunteers, back, give them the number again for coming down to Africa International House for that, or what? How do they contact you and Linda to say, I want to be a volunteer? What do I need to do? Tell our viewing audience what
they would basically go on Google, and I do apologize. I didn't bring the office number with me.
Shame.
I know. I should have brought my phone in here. It's in my telephone.
Okay.
But anyway, if you go on Google, you can look up, as I said, Africa International House, USA.Inc. Get our phone number. You can leave a voicemail, or somebody typically will pick up that line. You can just say, I'm interested in volunteering, or you can always come down to our office, generally after 12 o'clock in the afternoon. We are generally there from 12 to 7 p.m. The office is located at 6200 South Drexel Avenue,
right in the
Chicago.
Heart of Hyde Park, yes. Woodlawn Hyde Park?
Yes, in the Woodlawn Hyde Park area.
Free parking next door?
Within the Harris Park building.
Right. So it's a very convenient place. What have you learned do you consider yourself an elder or just older?
I don't know if I consider myself as an elder, but I do consider myself as older.
Okay, you're a woman of wisdom, all right? That makes you an elder, doesn't it?
I think so.
Okay. I'm very interested in some of the other things you're going to do. Performing arts is one of the things, too, that you were looking for. My guess is there's probably some singers, some dancers within those seniors that when you engage them.
And maybe down the road, maybe even some theater.
Okay, some acting. Was that you or Linda that talked about her acting experience?
That's Linda.
Okay. And she was in some local plays, or she wrote some plays, or what?
I do know that Linda has written some plays. As a matter of fact, when we were colleagues back at Kosminski, she wrote a play, and my son got a chance to participate in it. He was very excited, and it was a good play.
Was that play that she wrote, or one of the popular plays? Was she in an August Wilson play, or what?
No, it was a play that Linda had created herself.
Okay.
Yes.
Is she copyrighted, or can you?
I don't know if she has copyrighted that since then.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got a lot of things that you still want to do. You're going to need volunteers. And what's been the biggest challenge for you? It may not be the biggest, but we talked about one of the biggest is probably funding, so that you can expand and do the things that maybe offer stipends to the artists and get art material, etc. So tell us about some of the challenges that you need some assistance for.
And well, yes, funding is a big challenge. But another thing is for Linda, because it's just the two of us, scheduling, keeping up with our scheduling, keeping our appointments. We seem to be moving fast. Like things are coming at us at a fast pace. And I may say, Linda, there's a meeting here. Let's go over here. There's a meeting. Let's connect over here. Let's go out to a ward office, see if we can meet with the aldermen.
You went to police departments too, I hear, right?
We are in 5 of the police districts. No, 4.
Which
4
district?
of the police districts.
Deuce?
We are in District 3,
Okay.
6, 7, and 22.
And you haven't gone to the Deuce, the second on Wentworth and 51st?
We went there during Kwanzaa.
Okay.
We went there. We went to senior meetings. We met with seniors. We told them about the Kwanzaa program. We even went to a lot of the satellite centers that on the southeast and southwest side.
Like Atlas was one?
Atlas was one. I went to Atlas several times.
And Miss Henry there at Atlas?
Yes.
Very
Yes.
innovative person in terms of the programs they bring to the Atlas senior at 79th and Creek Gear. I would encourage you, don't have the exact information now, but folks, stop in. What are the normal hours there? 10 to...
At Atlas?
Yes.
I believe the hours are 9 to
At least 5. I think.
4.
Or 4.
4 or 5.
And they've
o'clock.
got something happening every day, from yoga to meals to speakers to dancing, steppers, and it's been to see some of the programs, and I've been to some of them as a senior myself to see what's going on there. What about some of the other ones that you've been to that you saw some interesting programs that you could?
Well, when you go there, basically they have the same things. They have, as you say, yoga, dancing, stepping,
And
exercise, music. Oh, and they offer lunch.
Yes.
Most of the time,
$2.
when I've been there, they offer a nice lunch to the singers.
Yes, your last $2 you can spend it on to get a little good lunch, and sometimes
Even in the Atlas Center, they have a shop where you can go in and shop.
Oh yeah, I saw that little shop. So when you do some crochet work, you will be putting it up for sale there, or is that just to donate?
I don't know if we will put it up for sale because those will be the artifacts of the seniors to keep.
Yes.
We are hoping possibly maybe at the end of the year to have some type of culminating activity where we showcase their works, some of their works throughout the year.
So I know that Linda probably told you something you better not forget and you better mention. What are some of the things that she hunched you about and told you, don't forget to say this, don't forget to talk about that. It's in your car.
Okay.
You can look at your notes.
No, I didn't bring those notes in here with me. But one of the things we want the audience to know is that we believe that building relationships is important.
You
If
building
we don't-
relationships with the community? Is that what you're saying?
Building relationships with the community, remembering to reach back and build relationships with our seniors and keep those relationships growing. Sometimes as people get older, they pull back from relationships. Case in point, and I'm going to make this a little personal for myself, my mother came down with Parkinson's a couple of years before she passed.
Yeah.
And I began to see how my mother began to digress. She didn't want to, my mother was a very outgoing person,
Like
very
you.
active,
Yeah, right.
went to church, went to family gatherings, and she began to kind of like recede and not want to go out, participate, do
Did you
things.
have to pull her out? What did you do to encourage her to get out?
Come on, Mama, we're going to do this today. We're going to do that. And I think sometimes with our busy lives, we forget that these are our resources and they have been our backbone for many years. And we forget because we're so busy with everyday life, working, raising children, going to a job. And even though all of us have parents or have had parents, and we just, not that we don't love them or care about them, but we forget.
And we can't let that wisdom go to waste. We've got to capture it while we can. That's one of the things I'm sure that you'll be doing with your seniors at various places you go to remind them and encourage them. They have something to offer. The vitality that both you and Miss
Linda.
Linda are showing. It's probably very interesting how you came together as colleagues and how you kind of gravitated. Just tell us quickly about that as teachers, as educators at Kaminsky.
As teachers, we work together, and at that time, we were working with youth, just to bring youth together and to increase their self-confidence, their self-esteem. And
Okay.
we basically go out to do the same for seniors.
One more
Bringing
shout
the
out
arts
to
to
our
them.
audience folks right down. She's going to give you some more information again so you won't forget. Those folks, listen now. Go ahead.
You can visit us on our website at aihusa.org. You can find us located at 6200 South Drexel Avenue in Chicago in the Harris Park District.
Parking is convenient. You're right outside. You can walk almost from the curb to inside the beautiful structure there. And they have a swimming pool there too, don't they?
Brand new swimming pool.
Yeah, right. So you can do your backstroke. So it's been a good time having you here today. I wish we had had more room to have you and Eva. What's her name? Okay.
Linda.
Okay.
That's okay.
It's one of those senior moments.
I understand.
No more senior moments for me. I've got to keep my notes straight. I'm so glad you came out today. All you visitors from Atlas, from Crocs that are watching today, thank you so much for being out with us today to meet Sabrina and to hear about her colleague.
Thank you for having us.
All right, then.